Hey folks, this is CBS19 meteorologist Joel Robinson coming at you with an 8 p.m. update on our severe weather situation. Currently not a whole lot going on severe weather-wise other than a severe thunderstorm warning that has just kind of left our viewing area at this point. This was the same severe thunderstorm that actually moved through Longview and San Augustine and produced some big hail and some flooding in some locations as well. It has now exited southward. It continues to be severe warned, but other than that, we are pretty much in the clear for the most part. We have a couple of thunderstorms near the Jefferson area and just south of Mount Pleasant, but they are not severe warned at this time. The severe stuff is actually beginning to materialize off to our west. And we have some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of southern Oklahoma, and we also have some severe thunderstorms that are starting to materialize off into West Texas as well. We're really keeping a close eye on this for the potential for them to move into East Texas. And so we're going to continue to watch that and continue to monitor the latest forecast data on that. So we are live on our CBS19 Plus streaming app as well as Facebook and YouTube. So you folks watching from there, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them in the comments below. I'd be very happy to answer them for you. So once again, so this is kind of the weather situation. Everything's off to our north and west at this time. Nothing is expected to move into East Texas until around 10 p.m., even 11 p.m. But these are the storms that we're dealing with right now in southern Oklahoma. We're also dealing with some thunderstorms just north of Abilene as well. They're still in that moderate risk for severe thunderstorms. That's that 4 out of 5 risk that we were talking about. For East Texas, we're in that 3 out of 5 risk. So most of the most intense activity, I should say, is going to be mainly in North Texas and basically off to our north and west. So that's some good news there. I do think that these storms will definitely weaken in intensity, but still may be just at those severe limits. So as you can see, not a whole lot has changed here with our severe weather outlook. The Storm Prediction Center has maybe trimmed it a little bit, our moderate risk there, trimmed it a little bit, but those storms have kind of moved out of that area. But basically, we're still in that 3 out of 5 risk, that enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms for East Texas. So that's kind of what that looks like there. Here's a closer view of that. So again, here's Tyler, here's I-20. It's going to include everybody all the way down until you hit the Lufkin, Crockett, and Hempville areas. They will have the possibility to see some severe thunderstorms, but I do think, once again, they're going to really weaken in intensity as these storms continue to track into East Texas. A lot of the energy right now has been tapped into at this time, just because of those storms that we saw earlier kind of popping up by themselves. Pardon me. So that, I think, is going to affect how much energy there will be available for those other storms off to our west to really get going here. But the Storm Prediction Center has also issued a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 p.m. And this is actually this actually expires before that main line of storms actually arrives. So this mainly goes for the storms that are in existence right now with isolated tornadoes, some large hail, and some flash flooding. So we'll continue to monitor that. But right now, severe thunderstorm watch does go until 9 p.m. We'll continue to monitor that for any changes. There will be a possibility for that to be extended later into tonight. So we'll have the latest for you as we continue to get updates. I'm going to monitor Facebook real quick, see if you guys have any questions. Yeah, there is still the potential for it to weaken, especially as it gets into Athens. It is expected to at least weaken in intensity, especially as it gets into East Texas. I think everything that the data is kind of in agreement with each other that it will weaken, and the strongest of the storms will be off into the Dallas Metroplex, towards Wichita Falls, north of Abilene, that kind of area. So as it continues to come into East Texas, and especially because we're kind of approaching that, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. time frame, that overnight time frame, you lose a lot of energy. And so these storms will not have enough energy to really sustain themselves as they continue to move through. Will they still be at severe limits? Probably. I would say most likely they will be at severe limits, because considering we do still have an enhanced risk, that 3 out of 5 chance to see severe thunderstorms. But again, I think we're going to be losing a decent deal of energy as we head into the overnight hours when these storms are expected to arrive. So here's one last look at these severe thunderstorms that are kind of in progress right now ahead of that cold front. That cold front will come into the area, and we will see those temperatures drop into the upper 60s to start tomorrow morning. And then we'll be all done. Basically, when all of this is out of the way, it's going to be out of the way by 2, 3 a.m. Once it's out of the way, we're done. And then we have a break from the rain tomorrow, and then rain chances start to pick back up as we head into this week. It'll be more like isolated to scattered rain chances, and we'll be a little bit below average. So we won't have any 90-degree days, but we certainly will have temperatures in the middle 80s, so slightly below average. I think with the humidity, it might feel like 90, 95, so somewhat of a relief, but still kind of hot for us as we go into this week, with some rain to kind of maybe relieve some of us from the heat, right? All right, let's review some of your questions there, if you have any questions. Okay, good stuff. So again, weather impact alert, we're going to keep that weather impact alert in place for tonight, still really watching the atmosphere really closely. Again, what we know now is that the atmosphere has been tapped into with these ongoing storms. Again, we had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that headed through the Longview area. It came through St. Augustine. It was basically with this big cell right here. It really just used up a lot of that energy. There's just a ton of energy in place. So with that, you're going to get these large storms that end up popping up on radar, and this is certainly a great example of that. Ton of lightning, large hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. So the atmosphere is definitely being used. These storms are definitely taking advantage of what's available right now. So, all right, so we're going to keep an eye on that for you. That, again, severe thunderstorm watch still goes into effect until 9 p.m. We're going to continue to watch that. Just in case it does get extended into the overnight hours when this main show comes along, which is currently off to our north and west. But to break it down, right here, hazard-wise, here's what we can expect. Weather impact alert, severe thunderstorms possible. Here's the big three. 80-mile-per-hour winds, I would say 60 to 80-mile-per-hour winds. 80 to 100-mile-per-hour winds off to our north and west. That's going to be in that 4 out of 5 risk area. Flash flooding, some of these storms are a lot of these storms with very, very weak winds kind of in the mid-levels. Those winds are driving those storms. With weak movement comes the possibility for some flash flooding. So a lot of rainfall in some of these storms and kind of a low-end tornado threat. We had a couple of tornado warnings already in effect. But they haven't been long-lived, luckily. But certainly 80-mile-per-hour winds at the max, I would say. Flash flooding, still an issue, possibly. Which, honestly, even without the tornado threat there, with the low-end tornado threat, I should say, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts still enough to do some damage there. So, what you will need is our CBS19 weather app. We'll keep you updated on social media. We'll go live throughout the night, and be sure to join us at CBS19 News at 10 for the latest updates. I'll have all the latest updates for you on there. We'll have one last look at the radar to see what's going on here, and let's actually look at the future skycast real quick. So here's the radar. Here's what we have here. So severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing, and it looks like we do have a tornado warning that includes Ardmore. So a little bit of rotation embedded within this line here. So rotation certainly possible, so some tornado warnings already issued within there. We had a couple of tornado warnings issued for Delta County and for some of our northernmost counties that were kind of out of our viewing area earlier. But they weren't very long, but still you have that potential for a couple of spin-ups within the line because of that wind energy that's in place, right? So, okay, now that we have all this, let's look at future skycast. Let's break it all down, and I'll have a fresh batch of data when we come back on CBS19 News at 10. So here's what we have here. Okay, this is starting 10 p.m. As we go throughout the night, notice how storms really start to weaken there. So they start to fall apart. The initial data was all across East Texas. Now it's kind of focusing more on the Palestine area coming into Crockett. So that's kind of where this data kind of believes that the most energy will be. And I think a lot of it has to do with the sun going down for sure. We lose a lot of data from that, but also we kind of had some convection today. So notice how it really, as it gets into Nacogdoches area, it really starts to wind down. And then look at those temperatures Monday morning. We've seen temperatures in the low 70s to start our days for the past several days, but thanks to some nice rain-cooled air and a cold front, we got temperatures in the middle to upper 60s, so a nice cool start to our Monday. And then check it out, we're all done, we're clear, maybe kind of a mix of clouds and sun, but across the board, look at that. Middle 80s, some lower 80s kind of here and there. We're looking very nice for your Monday. So folks, once we get past this, and hopefully it weakens, you'll be able to go to sleep tonight and wake up with cooler temperatures for Monday, and then rain chances start to pick back up as we go into Tuesday. Let's fast forward here. Tuesday morning, I think it was, maybe some isolated showers there, and then we'll extend this out into 7 p.m. as we go into CBS19 News at 10. So that's what this kind of the latest on the this kind of the latest on the data that we're getting right now. We'll have a fresh new batch of data, like I said, around 9 o'clock or so, and so I will definitely be sure to showcase that on CBS19 News at 10. But for now, this is basically kind of the story. One more recap here. I-20 southward and northward, Dallas Metroplex in that moderate risk. They will have the greater chance to see 60 to 80 mile per hour winds, maybe even higher, with those storms really materializing out there. But as it continues to move into East Texas, it'll start to fall apart. We don't have as much energy as we go into tonight, so it will start to fall apart. We might get a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, cannot rule out maybe a couple spin-ups, but we'll continue to monitor that as we go later through the night. We'll have all the details for you tonight. Be sure to join us at CBS19 News at 10 for the latest weather updates.